Alrighty, here we go. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. Just give me a little thumbs up. All that good stuff. Oh, goodness. Sunday day drinking. Only 6 people in here, which I kind of expected. I think, what's his name? Jason, good lord. Jason from the Mash and Drum is going live right now for his patrons announcing a barrel pick. So, didn't know that was happening, but you can't win them all. So, I think we'll probably be down a few people here today. But what's up, everybody? It's good to see you. There we go. Uch is in the house. Lone Wanderer 360. Carl. Anthony. What's Anthony say here? It's almost noontime. A dram wouldn't hurt. Okay, so you must be on the West Coast. It might be a little early. That's okay, though. Glenfiddich 12 here with the sandwich. Still recovering from his stream. So I was playing a show last night at the theater downtown here. It was like the Valentine's themed show. We did it with like some singer-songwriter type people, like pianists with an orchestra in the background. And then I went out last night with the conductor and with the soloists, and like I've been in bed all day, I'm telling you. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this stream. Very irresponsible of me, but I am mostly recovered at this point. So you can see I look a little tired, a little disheveled. But some Octomore should wake me right up. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that's about how it's going. It's been a rough day. Hey, Matt, what's up? Good to see you, man. Just popping in. Hello to you. Glad I could catch the part of the stream where you tried out that old Granddad sample. And yeah, hopefully you and I can do something you mentioned in March. That'll be great, man. So cheers to you. Hope you have a good day. Good Valentine's Day. I keep forgetting it's Valentine's Day because we're not really doing anything. We're just going to hang out tonight. Sarah and I. Las Vegas. Yeah. 12 p.m. over there. Enjoying my first taste of Chatty 11 Cats. Friggin' delicious. Yeah, it is. It's got sort of that like oat quality to it, that Raisin Bran cereal like I kind of talked about on my review. So I like that stuff, especially considering the price point and the age. Holy crap. Let's do it, man. Absolutely. And yeah, we'll talk. I'll send you a message and we'll kind of figure things out. I know you said you've been having a lot of guests recently, and I don't want to be overbearing or, throw my hat in the mix too much there. So totally your call, man, but I would really, really love to do something like that and figure it out. So, all right. Well, today is just a pretty chill day. 3 p.m. I'm going to taste 6 different scotches, but like I said, it was a rough night last night, so I'm going to have very small pours here. That's probably all I would want to drink anyways of these Octomores because they're so intense. And I'm happy to have these samples and to have another ounce of each of these as well so that I can kind of savor them on different occasions because I've never tried Octomore before. I also have some other independent bottlings here from Royal Lochnagar, Linkwood, and Clynelish. So I'm excited about that as well. I have to go ahead and quickly dedicate the episode to Carl Massey in the chat here and my friend Frank L. here in Columbus. I don't want to give his last name out in case he wouldn't want me to do that. But yeah, you guys are so awesome. Carl sent me in the Octomore samples in the Royal Lochnagar, and Frank sent in the Signatory independent bottlings of Clynelish and Linkwood. So I know I don't typically do a lot of Scotch content. That's going to be changing in the future. I have a few more videos to get out before I kind of flip the script and try to go primarily Scotch for a few weeks. Maybe one Scotch, one bourbon review a week. But first, I have to do an Elijah Craig A121 review, which just arrived today from a very generous person who supports the channel. And what else do I need to do? Oh, the Benchmark vertical review. I need to edit that. I have it finished. Wearing my full tuxedo, which is hilarious, in my basement with all the drum stuff around. And then I want to do a Weller 12 video as well. I would love to get those done before I start sipping on some Glendronachs and things like that on Scotch reviews. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay, well, if you are sipping on something, I know it's pretty early for a lot of us. Let me know what you're sipping on. Hopefully something maybe a little more relaxed, a little more chill. Octomore at 3 p.m., let's see how this goes. So I guess let me go ahead and start with, let's see here. Carl, do you know the age of this Royal Lochnagar, by the way? I'm just curious. It says 2000 edition here. but I would be curious to know if you have an age on that one. I have ages on these other Signatory bottlings here of Clynelish and Linkwood. I might start with those before I move into your samples. And then obviously I'm going to end with Octomore. Probably going to end with 7.1 since it's 208 ppm. Really high, pretty high peat content there. So yeah, let me know if you know the age on that one. DC says, "Sorry, I'm late. Just woke up from a chocolate coma." That's hilarious. So I was hungover today. Unfortunately, I feel like ever since having this whiskey channel, I thought I would drink less because I would only drink when I do whiskey things. For the last 2 weeks, it's been like I need to calm down and like give my body a break. Because before that, I was really doing well. I would only drink when I did reviews and only drink when I was doing live streams. I've kind of let it go the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of a step back and trying to do less pours on my live streams. I just need to be more careful with my body, to be honest with you. Oh, the Lochnagar 17. Sweet. Okay, yeah. Then I'm definitely going to save that for after the Clynelish and the Linkwood, just to kind of go up in age here. I'll probably start with the Linkwood because it's 10 years and Clynelish is 11. So that's kind of going to be the order here. But yeah, DC, anyways, what you were saying, waking up from a chocolate coma. When I wake up and I'm feeling rough after a night of drinking, the thing I always used to do is like really get some sugar into my body. I feel like I need sugar, I need chocolate. So this morning I kicked myself out of keto, unfortunately, because I ate a bunch of chocolate chips to try to get my life back together. Chocolate and coffee and water in the morning. Yeah, and some eggs as well. That's hilarious. All right, so I'm going to pour my first little dram here. The drum looks a little bit like, I don't know, a little fancy schmancy action going here. I just got some new glasses, and so I'm curious to try these out. Figured they would be good for Scotch because they're smaller glasses. And I tend to like these smaller glasses for most Scotches. So I think they're actually like port glasses if I'm not mistaken. I got them from some wholesale site for like $30 for all of these, so it's not a bad deal. Coming straight off of bourbon, Octomore will grab your attention. I can only imagine. So this is the Linkwood Signatory bottling 10-year. I don't believe I have a proof for this, so I'm not sure what the proof would be. It smells so fresh. Honestly, this is the best way to start this off after feeling so bogged down and heavy after drinking last night. Oh, it's so fresh. There's like a lot of pear notes in here. It's really bright and citrusy. A little sweetness in there. A little bit of that like confectionery sugar sweetness. There's a slight hint of waxiness in here. I know I'm saying that on the Linkwood, and we'll get to the Clynelish, and there will probably be more waxiness there, but oh, yeah. It's got just a really nice light Scotch nose to it, and you can tell that it's uncolored here. I don't think that Signatory does any of that coloring, obviously. Just a nice, beautiful sort of straw color. Not a lot of oak or anything like that on the nose. It's just really sweet and crisp and bright, and maybe even floral a little bit. I don't have any experience with Linkwood, to be honest with you. So this is my first Linkwood that I've ever tried. So let's go ahead and see like how this tastes on the palate. Nice little oak spice, like nice little kick of spice up front. Didn't get any of that on the nose, so that's nice. And again, I don't have proof for these first two sips, so these might be lower proof. This doesn't seem like it's excessively strong. Maybe like 46%. Maybe could be a 40. I mean, the spice is pretty heavy on the palate, but on the nose it's not, and it's not overbearing by any means. Do you guys have any experience in the chat with Linkwood? I'd be curious. Yeah, never had any of this stuff, so. Yeah, so good. It's got those like white cake notes that I kind of talk about when I have like Glenmorangie products. There's like that cakiness, that confectionery type thing. But overall, yeah, just a nice little pear, light fruit, crispness on top of that kind of thing. And some vanillas in here as well. Like that's kind of going along with those confectionery notes. All right, on the palate again. Good sourness in there too. I think it's a great combination of sweet and sour, which I just love. Um, another Scotch that does that for me quite a bit is like Aberlour 18. Those products have a really great sweet and sour blend going on there, and a little bit of like over stewed black tea notes. I love a good combination of sweet and sour when it's hitting all different parts of the tongue, and really, it's just a fuller experience. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Frank about this particular bottle. Um, I just don't know much about it, but it's good, really good. And sometimes like the Glenmorangie stuff gets a little bit too sweet or a little bit too, I don't know how to put it, like flavored tasting in a way, although obviously it's not flavored. And I think that this one seems more natural and more fresh. If does this make any sense? Like if whiskey could be inorganic and organic, this seems like an organic whiskey. And like sometimes typical bottlings of Glenmorangie or other sweeter scotches like that can seem a little bit contrived or a little bit, too heavy on certain notes. This one is just really balanced, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's great. I like these glasses. I like them a lot. I got 6 of these, again, from a wholesaler site for like 25, $30. And then I got a pack of 12, which are shaped a little bit differently and are just slightly bigger. And I got a pack of 12 because I couldn't order any less than 12. And those were also like 25 or $30. So it was a great deal. But now I have more glasses than I know what to do with. I need to get another dishwasher or something. All right. Let's move on to the next pour here, which is going to be the Clynelish 11-year Signatory bottling. And I will probably do a side-by-side of this maybe on a future live stream. I don't know that I would dedicate a whole video to it, but side-by-siding this independent bottling of Clynelish with the 14-year from Diageo. I would be curious to try that. Carl, let me think about these glasses. These are from, here, let me type it in the chat here. Let me type it in the chat real quick. I don't know how to say the name of this particular crystal maker or glass maker. It's what I use for my other glasses too, but I'm going to mispronounce it. Stojla Lausitz, I would assume. And these are just like the port glasses, and I think they're 3.75 ounces. So I'll put that in the chat right now. You can check those out. It was on a website called Webstaurant Store or something like that. I think that's right, Webstaurant. And I joined a free trial to get free shipping up front on this order, which was nice, but I have to cancel the subscription because it's a $99 a month subscription for restaurants. So I'm going to have to cancel that soon. But I might order a few more glasses from them. So, oh wow. I might pour a teeny tiny bit of Linkwood in this glass again, just to put it next to this Clynelish on the nose. I went down the glass rabbit hole of looking up different like port glasses, cognac glasses, and I found some really cool stuff. But some of the crystal, like the In La Lique things, and like $100 glasses, I'm like, oh my god. If I had FU money, maybe I would buy that glass. Oh wow. Yeah, so that Linkwood is really, really, like I said, crisp and light and sweet and sour, light fruits. And the Clynelish, yeah, definitely like that waxy note that you get. Like you feel like you're, I don't know, like beeswax, like that beeswax note. There's a little bit of that going on in here. It makes this dram feel a little heavier than the Linkwood. And there's a more pronounced toffee note in here, like light toffee sweetness, that beeswax note, just a more intense aroma, but it's still a pretty light pour. I would still assume that this one is also a lower ABV maybe. Yeah, it's nice. I like the toffee notes on this Clynelish. And it's a little bit sweeter there on the Linkwood for sure. Carl says, yeah, that's why I stick to Glencairn. I don't know what Joy Jolt is, but yeah, I've been rediscovering my love for Glencairns a little bit recently. Because I've always shied away from them, but been using them a little bit more, and I don't know. I'm back and forth about it. All right, let's try this on the palate. Whew. That's intense. Oh, yeah. It turned sour right there in the mid-palate. Really, really sour. Like tons of oak tannin for an 11-year. Holy smokes. And there's I don't think this is peated, but there is some peat in the background here. There's some brininess, some peat. More than the typical Clynelish 14 bottling has. Wow, so much spice on that. That is a killer pour. Goodness. Oh. Frank, if you're watching, I don't think you are, but holy cow, man. That Clynelish 11. Okay, proof on this one might be a little more turned up than the Linkwood. This we might be around that 48-50% ABV note or mark on this. If any of you guys had any experiences with any like independent Clynelish bottlings, I know that there are more of these probably floating around than some other brands in terms of independent bottlings. But here in Ohio, we don't get any independent bottlers with their products here. Absolutely zero, which really sucks. I have to go over to Indiana or down to Kentucky to find any of that stuff. Yeah, I like this a lot. This has got a really funky beeswax note on the palate, though. It's a heavier funk Clynelish wax note than the typical bottling, in my opinion. Second sip is more tame. Wow, there's some stuff in there that I can't even place. It's not typical. It's not typical flavor notes that I'm used to. There's so much strange funk going on in that Clynelish. I really love it. And for a long time, Clynelish 14 was my daily drinker in terms of Scotch. It's like a $70 bottle. And it was the one I would come back to just because I love that funky note in there. Because there's something so different about it, it reminds me of dusty bourbons sometimes where you can't quite characterize what it is, but you just know that you like it and it's a little off the beaten path. And I feel like for Clynelish, you either love it or you hate it. And in this case, I love it, and this 11-year bottling is incredible. So, awesome. Thank you so much, Frank, for those samples. I'm going to treasure these. I've got a little over half left on each of them, so that's awesome. All right, so let's go to glass number 3 now. Let's get into Carl's samples. So thank you again, Carl, for sending these. And I can't remember exactly what I sent you. Glengoyne 21, Glendronach 21, which I think is a 24-year bottling. And I can't remember the other stuff I sent you. So you'll have to remind me, but I'm so excited to be able to try these things. Make sure I get enough here. Hey, Aiden Craig, just popping in to say hello. Thanks so much, man. Hope you're having a decent day here. Good Valentine's Day. Surviving work, all that good stuff. Thanks for just jumping in here to say what's up. Cheers to you, man. All right, so this is a Royal Lochnagar from the Jewels of Scotland collection, which I'm not super familiar with. 57.3% ABV. So this is going to be a killer. Single cask. Like I said, 17 years old. I've never had a Royal Lochnagar either. I don't know anything about the distillery characteristics, the typical profile, anything like that. So this is going to be exciting to get my first taste here. Whoa. Whoa, there's like a dusty funk on this. JG in the house, what's up? No, you have not missed that much. Just two samples. You missed a Linkwood 10-year independent bottling and a Clynelish 11-year independent bottling, both of which were phenomenal. Phenomenal. Linkwood a little bit lighter profile, Clynelish waxier, heavier. Both things that I wish I owned bottles of. Yeah, man. Cheers to you. Okay, so there is some sort of spice on the nose here. It's sort of like a peppery spice to me. There is, I don't want to say it's not peated, but there's something sitting in the background that is somewhat smoky in a different way, but not necessarily in a peated way. It could be peated, but if it is, it would be really, really light. But there's a funk in here. I don't want to say that it's like a Springbank funk necessarily, but it has, or maybe that's, like I said, it's a dusty funk, dusty bourbon, dusty Scotch type note. There's actually like some, and Carl, I'll be curious to hear your kind of comparison or your agree or disagree as we go here. So please feel free to chime in. I'm getting like some smoked meats on the nose with this one. It's definitely less sweet than the previous two bottles or pours that I've had. Oh yeah, the Linkwood smells like candy now. This one is like complex. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to pour a little bit more in the glass to see if I can get a few more notes out of here. Not sure how sold I am on these glasses. They might be constricting the whiskeys just a little bit here. I'm not sure. Wow. I'm going to take a sip before I go back to it here. Oh, whoa. It ramped up in the mid palate. That is freaking delicious. And the finish is so long right now and lingering. Oh my God. Carl, what the heck did you send me? This is amazing. Holy crap. Okay, I'm trying to pinpoint, like there are some sweeter notes in here, but to me, this smoked meat thing that I'm getting in this intense oak spice, which is definitely got a little bit of that like white pepper characteristic going on. That is so intense on the nose even, but definitely now on the palate. Like the finish is lasting forever. This is crazy. Oh, interesting. I see a message just came in from Carl. It's going to pop into my chat here in a second. I can bring it up on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. That funk, that weirdness that I'm getting has got to be like a minerality that you're talking about. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. And there is some suggestion of smoke in here. And like I said, I was getting some sort of sweeter notes, but it's hard to pinpoint. They're definitely light sweet notes, and I should have been more clear about that when I said it. And when you're mentioning like apples, pears, apricots, that makes a lot of sense. Grass, that's interesting. Oh. There's some vanilla in there as well. I just picked up on a little bit of that. And some oak. Not necessarily a heavy oak by any means, especially because there's so much of that minerality and those other like heavier notes in there. The oak is pretty in balance with all of that, I would say. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my live chat here a little bit bigger on my screen. Okay, there we go. Carl, I don't know what you think of this. This is one of my favorite scotches I've had in a long time. And typically I like to go for, a lot of sherried scotch, heavier sherried malts like that. This is, I don't know. I just don't know. This is amazing. What region is Royal Lochnagar from, by the way? Oh, yeah. Totally agree. You've got to get another bottle of this. I am so surprised right now that this is, it's just blowing me away. Yeah, wow. But still, I'm still coming back to the fact that it's got a little bit of a Campbelltown funk in there for me, for whatever reason. Yeah, and I have this thing in front of me here, this Regis Royal that I opened on the stream the other night. I'm going to smell this because this has an actual dusty Scotch note on it. Yeah, it smells like an old antique chest in here. Yeah, it's comparable. There's a comparable type quality to it. It's definitely not as dusty smelling, but the Royal Lochnagar has that thing going on with it. Oh, okay. So it's a Highland bottling. Is this pretty coastal? That's one of my next questions. You talked about minerality. I get some salinity in this as well. Some of that brine. And when I'm thinking like those funkier notes combining with like a slight hint of smokiness in the background, kind of leaning me towards a little bit of like a smoked meat thing in there. I'm wondering if this is close to the ocean or close to the coast or wherever. It just seems a little bit coastal to me. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. And I know Linkwood is also in the mix there with Johnny Black, I believe. Or maybe that's Johnny Green. But I think Linkwood is in the mix. And Talisker? I'm not sure. I'll have to look up where exactly that is. Well, I'm going to enjoy this last sip a little bit later on the stream. Actually, no, I'm not, because I'm going to drink Octomore and I won't be able to taste anything. So let me go ahead and have another sip now. Oh my God. It is so good. You know, there might even be a little bit of waxiness in this too, along the lines of the Clynelish. Colila. Okay. Yeah. And what's up, Bubble Bath Bourbon? How you doing, man? I think you sent me a Facebook friend request the other day, and I accepted it. But I've been kind of off social media the last few days, so I apologize that I never reached out. My God. What's awesome is that I have just about half of this sample left and an entire other ounce. So I love the way, Carl, that you sent these in these 1 ounce bottlings. It actually keeps me a little bit more honest. So I'm not even going to touch the other sample until I have an occasion that I want to drink this for, you know, because this Royal Lochnagar is a very special. This is a special one for me. I think all of these that you sent me are going to be special. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. Let me rearrange here a bit. Yeah, there's definitely some waxiness on the Royal Lochnagar too. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here at the Octomore samples. I'm gonna kind of read the ages that are going on here, and the ppm levels, the phenol levels in here, which for those of you who are not Scotch people, we measure the phenol content in peated Scotch in parts per million, ppm, and you can really detect extremely, you know, single-digit numbers, I believe, of phenols in there. And when we're talking about Octomore, we are in the range of the samples that I have here from Carl. We have 167, 167, and 208 ppm, which is going to be a peat smack in the face. But that's kind of how that works. I've got proofs on all of these. I have ages on all of these. Thank you for all that information, Carl. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this Octomore 8.1, the Masterclass, this is a really sought-after bottle, I believe. I saw something about a Masterclass selling for like $400 on a secondary site maybe, or $450. And that could have just been a one-off thing, but it looked like these were pretty well in demand. So I don't know much about the Octomore series, but... Oh, as far as not drinking it after the Octomores. Yeah, that's funny. Well, still, I stand by what I said. You guys are friggin' awesome for sending these samples over. I'm so excited. Here comes the barbecue. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, interesting. And the 7.1 is the higher phenol content. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to start with 6.1 then. Yeah, and actually that works. That works well in terms of age, proof, and ppm level. We're sort of starting at the lower end of those numbers. This is 57%. That's not a low number. 57% ABV, Octomore 6.1. 5 years old. I know a lot of these are pretty young, but with this level of peat, you actually kind of want that most of the time. And 167 ppm. So, the first sip of Octomore 6.1. I'm ready to get... Oh, I shouldn't have poured that much. Jesus. All right. Well. Okay. Let's have a day. Here we go. Nice, again, got to be uncolored, coming from Brookladdy, I believe. Why does that not sound right to me now? No, Octomore comes from Brookladdy. Definitely uncolored, coming from Brookladdy. Cast strength. Here we go. Holy crap. That's great. Very strong. It's so hard to kind of get through the peat and really get down into the notes. For me, it usually takes one sip before I can. Good pineapple note. Man, maybe some flowery type notes in here. I don't know why I'm saying that. Something maybe a little bit floral. Something sweeter's coming into focus too. Like, I don't want to say it's vanilla. It doesn't seem quite light enough to be vanilla. I'm trying to think past the peat first. Trying to think past the barbecue, as DC says. Yeah, Carl, that's a good point. And what I want to do, actually, to get these out of the sample bottles and get some air into all of these, I'm going to go ahead and pour all of the Octomore samples, because I also think I'd love to be able to do a side-by-side nosing of all of these too. So let me go ahead and just get these poured out. The drum is about to be a naked drum, basically. Oh, shoot. I just poured that twice. Oh, shoot. Crap. Hang on a second. I just poured 6.1 twice because I'm a total idiot. I wonder if I can pour that back. Well, that cup is essentially shot now because I don't want to mix up these Octomores in these cups. Let me rinse this very quickly with my bottle of water. Sorry, rookie mistake. That's hilarious. This had the Royal Lochnagar in it, so do a couple little shots of water here out of the glass and whoops. I'll have to pour that one back. I'll put it up here so I remember that this is the 6.1 extra that I accidentally poured. So I need to pour the 8.1. That's what I need to pour. Okay. Beautiful. All right, so 6.1 extra will be over here. The regular old 6.1 will be here. 7.1 here. And the 8.1 is closest to me. 6, 7, 8. So again, let's start with the 6. Okay, that's what I just smelled a second ago. Let's go to the 7. Oh, vastly different. That's so crazy, just how different those are. All right, and now to the 8.1. Oh, there's a little like bubble gum in the 8.1. That's interesting. It's like what I'm getting on these Octomores a lot, in a lot of these cases right now, is like what the peat is heavy in all of them, but when you get down underneath it, the sweet element that's backing everything up, all of those are clearly different between the different bottlings. And that last one had a bubblegum note. So I'm going to go ahead and try the 6.1 here on the palate. Cheers. Whew. That's got some campfire going. Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, campfire, barbecued pineapple. Wow. Now there is some vanilla in here. You go back to the nose, and I'm getting vanilla as well. Yeah. The 3 most prevalent notes so far are campfire, like that Lagavulin campfire ashy note, barbecued pineapple, and that vanilla. And then, of course, monstrous amounts of peat. Wow, that is amazing. My whole body is like warming up right now. The awesome part about this Octomore is that it's mouth-watering. Oh, wow. Some more tropical fruit going on there on the palate now. The great part about this is that It really dries your mouth out and has a crazy long finish with all the peat stuff. But it's not too drying. It's not like out of balance. When I'm taking a sip of this, it keeps me salivating, even though it's drying my gums out in my throat and lingering. It's still making me salivate. It's still mouth watering, and so it's a good balance of those things. Now I'm getting a little dry, but it's not overbearing. Like I thought these Octomores were going to make me go like, oh, I'm not really. This is approachable, and interestingly, holy cow. Sniff them throughout and sniff through them and back first. Yeah, I think that was a good call too, just to kind of like quickly acclimate or quickly evaluate the fact that, okay, these are vastly different, instead of like interrogating one of them, interrogating the next one, that kind of thing. Yeah, I like to do that. Beef jerky bubblegum. That's funny. Maybe. When I get to the 8.1, we'll see. Is 0.4 like the really heavily peated stuff? I think the higher the number, the more peat. Is that right? I'm not sure. Any medicinal? Let me see. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a Lefroy element to it. That medicinal type quality here, like that iodine thing. Get a little bit of that here as well on the nose. But it's like, Lefroy doesn't have the campfire thing going on. And these ones have a combination of, for me, like some of that medicinal quality, but also just as much campfire to kind of round it all out. So, hey, what's up? SG Flying High 1. I think this is the first time I've ever seen you in the chat. So if this is your first time in here, welcome. Good to see you. Cheers and thanks for tuning in. 0.3 are usually the real peat bombs. Okay. All right, so that's the 6.1, and I can feel that one. I took like 2 sips, and I can feel that. But that's 57% ABV, so whew, I'm going to get a headache now. All right, let's get to the 7.1. 7.1 to me has got a little bit more sweetness on here, and we're at a higher ppm level. I wouldn't have guessed that, actually, on the nose. No. Carl, Uta, let me know. Do you get as much peat on the nose of the 7.1? Because this 7.1 actually seems more tame to me than the 6.1. I'm not sure why that is. Still 5 years old. Huh. Oh, Tim Evans in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you. 6.3, 8.3, 10.3 are the biggest peat hitters, I believe. Okay. I've been in a few times, mostly looking. I'm also in a Sherry G. Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, it's good to see you, Sherry G. That's amazing. So, yeah, I haven't ever really checked the lurkers out in here. I haven't looked at the participant tab. So, very cool. Good to see you. 0.3s are the local individual farm barley ones. 0.4 is virgin oak. Wow, you guys have all the freaking Octomore knowledge. I have never jumped on the train just because I can't get it here in Ohio. So, or I guess maybe if I waited in line for 3 hours on the truck to get here, I could. But I've never actually seen one in Ohio on the shelf anywhere. So, yeah. This one is really interesting. This is definitely sweeter. I'm going to try to figure it out. Yeah, 6.1, definitely more campfire. Just really ashy. This one is beautifully light and sweet. I feel like I don't even have an Octomore in my glass right now. I'm confused. There it is. It's really peppery. Like the peat and the pepper really combine in this one. In 7.1. Oh, Lito's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Awesome. Yeah, I'm curious about this one, Carl. The 7.1. There's like there's a lot of sweetness and maybe like there's apple. I think there's some apple and pear in here. Lighter fruits like that. And it's less tropical to me. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's less tropical, more straightforward. And there is actually some sugary notes in this one. What the hell? I am so confused right now. I'm going to smell the 8.1. I can't even smell the peat anymore. I love it. That's crazy. The 6.1 is just abrasive. Yeah. Good God. I don't know if I should have started with that one based on the way that these smell and taste. That's what makes me so much. Yeah, absolutely. Like I've never. Interesting. I've never really gone through a bunch of Islas at once and kind of picked this apart. I mean, I have a few. I just stopped drinking Isla stuff like a year ago because I just wasn't so into it anymore. When I started getting into other things, maybe a year and a half ago actually, and I've only recently returned to doing it. I'm more of a Campbelltown person if I had to pick, but this is like shocking to me how different these are. The smoke on the nose goes way faster than the palate for me. Yeah. That's exactly what's going on for me. Lido likes the peat bombs. Isla Ninth Edition I got is so good. I get the peppery spice on the 7.1. From memory, I find it the most intense of them. Yeah, I think on the palate, the pepperiness is crazy strong, but the nose is not. And I like this. I got sweet apples on the nose, just like my first sip, and haven't... I don't know what you were saying on that word necessarily. I just took my first sip and haven't on the palate yet. Yeah, so when you said sweet apples, that was kind of what I was wrestling with. It was like, I'm getting a sugary quality, but some apple in here. I don't want to say it's like a sugary apple. Well, what does that mean? But no, you're right. Sweet apples. Yeah. You could convince me maybe there's another like light red fruit in here. You could convince me, but I don't know. There's just something else going on that I can't pinpoint in terms of the sweetness on the 7.1. All right, let's go to the palate again. Oh, got much on the palate, yeah. That makes sense. Oh, wow. That 7.1. I like it because there's less campfire smoke in there. The peat in here is so round, so balanced with the pepper spice that it mingles the best. I'm going to take one quick sip of 6.1 to do this comparison. Actually, let me wait on the finish of the 7.1. Yeah. Getting some oak tannin now in the end, actually. The apple is, it's definitely like, it's definitely a sweet apple. It's like, to me, it's like a red apple. Or like maybe Fiji, maybe? Here I am calling out apples. Don't let me keep doing this. I'm going to just take a sip of 6.1. Yeah, it's just more abrasive and medicinal and peat forward there. I actually just got a like a tea note on 6.1, like some sort of fruit tea. Does that make sense? Like, it's not pineapple juice. It's like almost like some sort of tropical, some sort of like Starbucks has like black teas blended with juice type things, like half and halves or something. Almost got that on 6.1 there. Wow, this is crazy. My autocorrect is drunk and speaking German. I wondered if that, it looked like a German word, but I was like, I don't speak German. I can get by on Spanish. No German here. That's hilarious. All right, let's go now. We're moving down in ppm to 167, up in age from 5 years to now 8 years, and up in proof, sorry, down in proof by 0.2%. We are now at 59.3%. On Octomore 8.1. My palate is just an inferno. Like, not my palate, the back of my throat right here feels like there's a fire burning. I have my own oven inside of my body right now. That is hilarious. Okay. I gotta snap back into it. It's only been, I did this too quick. It's only been 47 minutes since the start of the stream. So, but I've had very small pours, very small amounts here, although the Octomores are intensely proofed, you know. Yeah, I am getting a super sweet. It's like almost like a Stag Junior bubblegum note. I don't understand it here on the masterclass, the 8.1. Huh. I might like the nose on this the best. Enjoy your smoky Valentine's dinner tonight, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever I eat or drink for the rest of the day is going. I'm gonna be belching up peat all day. Sarah's gonna love that. Oh, the nose on 8.1 is incredible. Right now, for me, the 6.1 is definitely underneath the 7.1 in terms of palate and nose. It's not bad by any means, but it's super intense. Um, this 7.1 is pretty awesome in terms of that apple note, that sweetness, the balance of everything, the way the peat mingles with the spiciness or the peppery notes. And here on 8.1, the nose is the best for me. Hard to pinpoint. I'm going to take a sip. Ooh. Little campfire comes back here. A little bit more campfire than the 7.1 for me. But there is so much more fruitiness here. I feel like there are some berry notes. Ooh, good oak tannins right there. Getting into the finish. Good oakiness. And probably to be expected with a couple more years of age. I would have to say there's some sort of fruit beyond like the pear, pineapple, apple land that I've been kind of living in here. There's got to be something more here. Maybe a really light red fruit note. I don't know. I'm going to be curious to look up official tasting notes on these things and see like what the company puts out and says, and then see what other reviewers say, because I did no research before this. I wanted to get my true and honest opinion, even if I couldn't tell what the heck I'm even tasting. This one's tough. I think there might be cherry in there. Is actually, I talked about sweet and sour earlier with the Clynelish, I believe it was. And this one, there's that peat sitting on the top, but there's also a sweet and sour thing going on here on the palate underneath the peat. And I feel like that's the first time I've really gotten that type of dichotomy with one of these. Maybe the 7.1 had it. I'll have to check. But I can actually pick out the sweet and sour notes underneath the peat on this one, as opposed to just finding like a fruit, or vanilla or something. Yeah, I think this one is more balanced across the board, the 8.1, between the sweet, sour, and peat and spice. The nose is just beautiful. I can't get away from cotton candy or bubble gum on the nose for some reason. The sweetness here reminds me of that, which is hilarious. For an Octomore, I feel like that's hilarious. Aiden made it back. What's up, man? Cheers. All right, I'm gonna take one more sip, try to figure out my thoughts, and then Carl, I want you to give me the skinny on this. Oh, it looks like you just did. I'm not gonna read it yet. I want to take one more sip. Is there honey in 8.1? Like a honey note? So hard to find. Ashy with an oaky vanilla. Yeah, I gotta agree with all of this. And you're right. There actually, to me, is a distinction between 6.1 and 8.1 on the ashy versus campfire thing. That makes a lot of sense to me. 6.1 felt like dying, like a dying ashes of a fire, and 8.1 feels like I'm on fire. But 8.1 doesn't give me that on the nose for whatever reason. Not, I'm getting so much sweetness on the nose here with it. Earthy minerals, okay. Some fruit, and then a nice clean finish, almost like a Lagavulin. And that's where I'm at right now on the finish. Yeah. Shit. That's awesome. Carl nailed it. That's it. I mean, that's seriously it. 7.1 fruity with that sharp pepper finish. We were talking about that apple quality. I still am getting some vanilla on that one. And you mentioned oaky vanilla on 6.1. 6.1 now seems really tame to me. A lot of vanilla on 6.1. Yeah, there's the ashiness. Holy crap. Ugh. 6.1's tough. That's a tough one for me. When Sarah gets a whiff of your breath, she'll ask why you ate an ashtray. That's hilarious. I'm trying to get Sarah to actually smoke some cigars with me, and I'm not a big cigar smoker, but there's a place close to me that's a really amazing cigar lounge, really high ceilings, well ventilated, a good hang. The bourbon bar is a little too expensive, unfortunately. Might have to sneak a flask in there and refill my glass with that. But I'm trying to get Sarah to come smoke some cigars with me because I think she would enjoy it. She's tried to smoke like a clove cigarette and a cigarette at different points, and I don't smoke cigarettes, but and she doesn't like any of that kind of stuff. But I think a cigar would be different for her. I actually, when I was in college, when I was like a freshman and sophomore in college, I used to smoke a pipe with my friends. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I enjoyed it. But it gives you that fuzzy tongue, so yeah, she's going to ask me why I ate an ashtray. Absolutely. Well, I don't know where I stand here. I'm torn between 7.1 and 8.1. The nose on 8.1 for me wins. But I think the palate of 7.1 for me might win in terms of it's so subjective, right? But 8.1 has a really nice balance between sweet, sour, savory, peat smoke, spice, all of that stuff in 8.1. But I just think I enjoy 7.1 more on the palate for whatever reason. Let me take one more sip of 7.1. Okay. And now 8.1. There's actually a chocolate note in 8.1 I just got. Interesting. I pulled it up. As soon as I pulled the glass up to my face after trying 7.1, chocolate burst out of the glass. I'm going to give the nod to 8.1 right now, but I'm going to say that it's a super close race. I love 8.1 and 7.1, and 6.1 is a good bit below those just for me personally. Yes, I agree. Okay. Yeah, I agree that it's softer and more rounded out. That makes a lot of sense. It's got to be the age. And if that is the age that's doing it, and it's only 3 years, and it's only 8 years old, what a crazy difference that makes for peated scotches, I've never tried anything above Lagavulin 16. I've never tried a really old Islay Scotch, and they say that when you get into that like 25-year range, that you really start to lose peat, and that makes sense to me because of how it sits in the oak for such a long time. I'd be curious. Yeah, I just got chocolate at 8.1. It was one of those like I didn't even think about it. I just pulled the glass up and took a sip, and there it was. And I'll probably never find it again. But yeah, I'll stand by that for right now. I don't think I'm feeling pretty good in terms of like alcohol consumption right now, so I don't think I'm crazy and saying crazy things at this point yet. But yeah, okay. Well, Carl, thank you so much for those samples, man, and thanks for giving your tasting notes here as well. You two are friggin' awesome, and I really appreciate you hanging out and sending these samples and just being so supportive. I told Sarah about you, and so I think Uda, you followed me on Instagram maybe, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Sarah, come here. Anytime anybody follows on Instagram that's in the live chat or something, it's pretty cool to just kind of see you guys, in your personal lives or whatever. See you online, all that kind of good stuff. Put a face with the name, you know what I mean. So barrel-aged IPAs, the hop intensity drops significantly. Yeah, I actually and I prefer that actually for IPAs, but I don't know about peated Scotch. I may or may not like that so much. Okay. Oh, Hendo just sent me a message. I don't know what he's saying here. I'll have to get back to Hendo after this live stream. All right. Well, I think I'm good. This has been fun. A fun hour of consumption. Yeah, and if you ever want to do any more trades, let me know. My list is, it's in the video descriptions of some of these things because of the blind tasting. So if you see anything on that list and you want to trade for it, as long as I'm not below like 4 ounces of something, I'm totally willing to send it out to people. The one thing I'm hesitant about is like Dusties, particularly, and things that I'm about to be running out of. So that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I just want to share, and I don't know if you actually can't see it back here, but on this shelf, I've moved all my samples. I have like 50, 60 samples right now from people, which is crazy. I never thought I would ever have this problem. Not really a problem, but I never thought I would have this many samples coming in. So it's been really cool to kind of see the support from everybody and, just be able to do trades and that kind of thing. Let's see here. DC says, I'm not on the gram, but if I lived in Ohio, I would follow you. But if I lived in Ohio, I would follow you in my car. What? What does that mean? Are you creeping? Are you creeping, bro? What are you doing? Carl says, I got to find some more of that 21. Yeah. I can't. I want to say I paid 180 for that. And for a 21-year-old, I'm down for 180. That was when I was actually making money still as a touring percussion artist. So nowadays, I don't think I would pay 180 for a Scotch right now until the work all starts to come back, unfortunately. Aiden says, still no 107s here. God, I haven't been out to the store or on a run to any of the liquor stores around here in weeks. I just haven't gone out. So, because I've just been practicing and doing stuff for upcoming performances. If you remind me, Aiden, I will ship you one of those at cost. I'm so sorry, man. I haven't been to the store at all. We've been doing Instacart for the last few weeks and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, well, I think I'm good to go here. Maybe I should take a small little sip of the Regis Royal now that it's sat open for maybe like 3 days, since Thursday, basically. I was impatient. I opened it then. I got some air into it. It had a little bit of an astringency and a little bit of an ethanol note in there. Even though it was a Dusty, it was clearly like a pretty low-end blend back in the 80s, I'm sure. But I'm curious, and I want to try it again. So here's the Linkwood. Here's the Clynelish. Let me just have a last sip of the Linkwood and then pour one of these, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, the Linkwood is like, it smells like cake. It smells like white cake. Oh my God. It's like, what is it? Glenmorangie Tail of Cake? Yeah, it really has some of that vibe to it. A little less of the pineapple notes. Oh my God, that's so good. A little thin on the Linkwood, but I don't mind the thinness because of the flavor profile. It's a lighter, delicate flavor profile, and it should be a lighter, delicate Scotch to accompany, I think. All right, let's go with the Regis Royal, last pour of the day. And I mean that. I will not be drinking tonight. After the night I had last night and doing this video, I'm good to go. I probably won't be drinking for quite a few days. Although I need to get that Elijah Craig A121 video finished or recorded and wrapped up. So, let's see here. Something about Blue Spot. 150 to 180. Oh yeah, see, I saw this come out, and I haven't been on the cast strength Redbreast train at all, so luckily I don't feel a hankering to go out and spend a bunch of money on this Blue Spot that everybody's hyping up right now, but I'd be curious to try it. I could have tried it at Jason's house a few weeks ago, and I don't know why I didn't, honestly. Chatty 111 and I don't even know how to say that. I don't even want to try it. Irish finished in port barrels. Or porter barrels. Is it port or porter? If it's finished in porter barrels, that would be very interesting. A barrel that held a porter, which must have held something else before then. That's interesting. Huh. Very weird. All right, so Regis Royal 12, Can't find any information about this. Yeah. Total mystery to me. All right. Let's see. Oh God, I love the smell of old freaking bottles. That old bottle effect on these. Even if what's underneath that old bottle effect is not actually a good bourbon or a good scotch or a good whiskey, the fact that you get that dusty funk on the top for me is like enough on the nose. Porter beer barrels. Holy crap. That sounds interesting. You sound amazing. I sound like a drowning duck. What is happening? Yeah. There's like a there's no peat in this blend. It's all red fruit and funk. All right, let's try it on the palate here. I got to get past the dusty funk first. Really flat on the palate. Something I don't like there. There's milk chocolate here. It's like a flat cola on the palate with this. Definite sherry notes. Sherried scotch has been blended in here. Absolutely, you can tell by the color as long as that color is somewhat natural, you know. It's drying. It's sweet. There's a lot of red fruits, like I said. But there's an astringency, as I mentioned from the other day. It's still here. It's still sort of ethanol driven. Probably from the grain whiskeys in here. Not a bad whiskey though. All things considered, this still beats out so many of today's blends that are 12 years old. It's not even funny. So, yeah, wow. I'm glad I have it. It's definitely the worst Dusty that I own. The other Dusties, the old Granddad Bonded from National Distillers, the old Johnny Walker Black, the old Weller 12s that I have, the raised wheat and stuff like that, all of those are far superior than this, but this is still pretty freaking solid. So I only spent $50 to get it shipped here. That's not a bad price for me to get something like that. So Octomore to Dusty, haha, yeah. And Cam's at 4. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't partake, but I don't. You know, nothing against it. So blaze it up if y'all want for the 420 subs. Yeah, I'm trying to. Again, my goal is to get monetized by the end of March, if possible. I am sort of on track to do that. Sounds like Matt Porter and I are going to do a collaboration in March. Jason from Mash and Drum and I will do a collaboration in March. And I'm thinking those will really help the subscriber numbers a lot. And the more live streams I do, the more videos I put out, the more watch hours go up. So I'm just looking forward to, you know, continuing to grow and see if I can meet that goal of the end of March. I'm not 100% positive I can do it, but I think I'll at least get really freaking close. So with some of the stuff coming out, I think, you know, I'm going to do not clickbait, but a little bit more like, should you pay $200 for Weller 12? That kind of a video. I'm doing a few more of those, you know, which scotch or which whiskey glass should I choose? That kind of stuff. Because I've been really focusing on reviews because I want to earn the trust of the community and show that I have a decent palate. You know, I feel comfortable with my palate. For instance, peated scotch for me is a tough one. I'm not great at evaluating that right now. I will get better. But that's kind of been the thought process and the goal at this point is to just try to earn trust as I continue growing and then start to venture out into some videos that might be more accessible to a wider audience. That's what I'll say instead of clickbait. And the benchmark vertical is going to be kind of a funny video, just the way I'm dressed and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, next Thursday I'll be going live. For all of you that are on the stream right now, on Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday, I'll be on with Scott from My Bourbon Journey. We have a blind flight from Will Henderson, Hendo, 5 pours. We're going to be doing that. Thursday, I'm going to go live at 7:30 Eastern. And if I have a big drop off like I did last week at 7:30, I might move back to 8 p.m. for what it's worth. Then Friday, I'm going to be with Trev Wilson. Amy Bohm sent us both a blind flight. That's on the way right now. So on Friday, I'll be live with Trev. So that's that's basically all the whiskey drinking I'll be doing next week. So I just wanted to clue you all in on what it is. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, Scott, me, Trev. That's kind of the plan. So peeps love recommendations vids and they get big views. Example, top 5 bourbons for a drummer. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I even thought about videos of like what drummer is what bourbon, or what style of music, or if I do a virtual concert and I say like, here's our bourbon pairings for the pieces that I'm going to perform, and here's why I think this bourbon or this scotch or this whiskey relates to the pieces. I want to do some more stuff like that. Of course, I'll do what's whiskey glass, available bourbons, top 5, best under 20. Those are all coming, but I just didn't want to do that out of the gate. I think it's too much out of the gate. Yeah, Wags, what's up, man? Yeah, you catch the replay. It's definitely a niche video here with all these scotches. So Trev is here. What's up, man? We're going live on Friday. I'm gonna text you back. Had a long couple of days doing Valentine's Day rehearsals and then a gig last night downtown here in Ohio. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to you, man. Hope you're having a good V-Day with your Sarah sans H. Trevor's here to bring the sexy back. That's awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to jump off here. I only wanted to go for about 75 minutes. Basically, we've done that. It's almost, it's 4:10 right now. So I have one final question for all of you. For this live stream and the last live stream, I didn't do the typical pictures, the typical video thumbnails. A buddy of mine took some pictures of me, whiskey-themed pictures, and I used those to create the thumbnails. Do you think I should move back to something more animated and more graphic, like I had been in the past, with like big block letters and stuff like that? Or did you like the quality in the picture on the current thumbnails, which was a little bit more like minimalist and sophisticated? I'm curious to what you think. That's my final question. Yeah, Trev, I'm so glad you're in the house, man. And Aiden, I'm glad you could pop in as well. That's hilarious. All right, so yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think about the thumbnails. If it's more engaging to have more like active, colorful thumbnails, I'll stick with that. Do both. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the analytics for sure. But it's also good to just hear from people who are actually tuning into the stream and seeing those things. So I want to get all opinions. I asked about Poopy One at the store earlier. I must have missed this. I must have missed this joke right here. I genuinely believe that bottle is tainted. You need a thumbnail? I have ideas. Oh, DC, hit me with the ideas, please. I would love to throw up one of your amazing graphics. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off now. 4:10 p.m. Thank you for hanging out. 12 in the chat, 22 likes. Fun video, a little bit niche. I know a lot of bourbon drinkers didn't tune in because it's a Scotch day, but that's okay. That's okay. Personally, I think the picture won't stand out more. Everyone does bold text and bottle. Yeah. Sometimes you have to mix it up. Looks good. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm doing my best to try a couple new things out there with all of that. So continue experimenting and see what works. But cheers, guys. I'm going to end this stream. I need to pour the 6.1 back. I can't forget. I'm going to end this stream with what here? What is in this glass? That's my Dusty. Let me end with the Clynelish 11. That's going to be my final pour. So cheers to all of you. Have a good rest of your night. A good Valentine's Day. All that good stuff. And I'll see you maybe Tuesday, my bourbon journey with Scott. If not, Thursday on my stream at 7:30 p.m. See you guys.